The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse Ewing. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle, where you can access your full potential right now. Finally break free from destructive habits. That dream life, if you want it, you can have it. This is where you transform your health, mind, business, and relationships. Or do nothing and keep your life the way it is. But if you're ready for change, you're in the right place. This is where you're gonna learn how to live a habit-based lifestyle. You are tuning in to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with your host, Jesse Ewing. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle. Let's go.
All right. What's up, guys? Jesse, Habit-Based Lifestyle. Wanted to jump on here real quick today and drop a podcast. And what it is really talking about is, what does it really mean to be 1% better every day? You know, I was listening to a podcast this morning, and they were talking about we being 1% better every single day. It was really made me think about, like, hey, how can I compete with myself, or how can I compete with others who are better than me at what I'm doing? And a way that I also thought of is like, hey, how can I compete with myself to get better in every way or every area of my life? And so inside of Habit-Based Lifestyle, many of you know that we talk about, you know, your physical health, mental health, relational health, financial health, and spiritual health. But it really made me think about, man, how can I compete with myself every single day to make sure that I get better every way possible? So what I'm talking about really is saying, okay, like, we can get 1% better in 5 different areas of life every single day. Now, I'm sure you could get better in more, but really what we're teaching people inside of Habit-Based Lifestyle is how to improve your life 1% better each day in 5 areas of life. And so what this really equates to, if you think about it, is 1% better is your ability to literally choose every single day that I can get better 1%, or I can get worse 1%, but you do not stay the same. So even though we may think there's a maintenance program in life or whatnot, and maybe some of you might be teaching this, but there really is no maintenance when it comes to getting better or getting worse. There's no staying the same. And so every day we're going to choose to get better, or every day we're going to choose to get worse. But either way, it's a choice that we make. And that 1% better translate to 37.8% over the course of the year. That means that we have the ability to change 1% better every single day, which equates to almost 38% better in 1 year. Now, if you think about that, that's almost changing 50%. 50% of who you are, 50% of yourself in one of these 5 areas. And I want to kind of walk through this to really show you the effect that this has on this. Now, another way to say that is we can get 38 times better at our physical health. We can get 38 times better at our relational health. We can get 38 times better at our spiritual health. We can get 38 times better in our business or financial health, and we can get 38 times better inside of our mindset. And 38% doesn't seem like a lot, but when we say 38 times better, it starts really making a lot more sense. And we don't have to just do that in one area. We can do that in multiple areas, but it's going to require you to make a choice every single day in order to do that. And that's what I want to really break down today. So if we just talk about physical fitness, you have the ability to get 38 times better inside of your fitness. No matter what fitness you're doing, just by you getting 1% better every day, you have the ability to transform your entire fitness, you know, your workouts, your program, the types of fitness that you're able to do. And really this could come down to, getting stronger. It could come down to you having better cardiovascular health. It could come down to you getting ready for a race, whatever that is. But we have the ability to do that every single day. Then we talk about nutrition. Like I could get 38 times better with my nutrition if I began to break it down into what is going to give me that 1% improvement every single day in my nutrition. Is it following some type of, healthy eating plan? Is it taking some type of supplement? Is it combining a supplement with making some changes inside of my nutrition? But whatever that is, fitness oftentimes is the thing that really kickstarts all the other things. Now, most people, as they start working out, and that's where they start, they begin to change their nutrition because they realize, hey, if I'm going to put all this work in, I might as well do the nutrition piece too, because this begins to not only transform my fitness, but also my nutrition. And so when you see people begin to change in their physical health, it really begins to kind of transform all other areas of life. And technically, if I'm working out or working out harder, the natural thing for me to want to do is to improve my nutrition. Now, imagine this, in your relational health, you could have a 38 times better marriage. And where I see a lot of people, fail in their marriage is their marriage doesn't get better year after year. It actually gets worse. And so what that means is you're making a conscious decision to not make your marriage 1% better every single day. And so some people may ask, well, how would I even do that? Well, what is something you could do every single day? I remember, early on when I went through a program called Wake Up Warrior. And one of the things inside of that is they taught you to, like, hey, you have to send your wife a message every single day. And as I began to do that, I realized that, hey, sending my wife a text message wasn't that big of a deal, but I began to send her a video every single day. And I didn't just do that for a year. I did that for probably consistently a 4 or 5 year period. And then now it's kind of transitioned into, doing prayer with my wife every single day. But what I've seen happen is our marriage began to change from when I started that alone. And then it got into, date night. It got into, some of these intentional things, but we were able to improve our marriage because it was something that I was able to kind of make a deposit in or work on every single day. And so, we had the ability to start making our marriage 38 times better because we made a decision and choice to begin working on it every single day. And so, don't underestimate the power of a small change in your marriage and the impact that can have on it over a long period. And, even the relationship with your kids, are you doing something with your kids? Do you have a habit with your kids that you could improve your relationship with them 38 times better because of the choice you made every single day to invest in them? And I think of these like, these are almost like all mini deposits that you're making into your relationship with your wife or your husband or your relationship with your kids, or the relationships that really matter, making that deposit every single day, because it's going to be 38 times better. But another way to look at that is the dividends have now been paid out 38 times over the course of a year. And, for most of you guys, if you go to a regular bank, you might get 4% interest. If you're lucky, now we're talking about 38% interest over the course of a year. And who wouldn't pick that as an investment to do when many of these investments don't take more than 5 or 10 minutes a day? Now, the other part is imagine, your mental health or your mindset being 38 times better today. So that means, maybe your thoughts, your stress resilience, your worry, your doubt, all those things all of a sudden now are 38 times better because you chose to work on, shifting your mindset every single day, not just, when you couldn't take it anymore. And so that is the power of that inside of your mental health. Many of the things that we, teach inside of our program are things that reduce stress. So going through what we call a daily reframe, learning how to reframe a negative thought into a positive one, being able to recognize a negative thought and shift out of it. It takes work to do that. And it's not just shifting out of it. It's actually learning how to do it. That's really important. It's the ability to be able to handle stress. So doing things every day that would help you build stress resilience, say that now all of a sudden I'm 38 times more resilient at stress than I was a year before that, because I decided to make this a habit and work on it every single day. And then we get into spiritual health. Now, most people will say, hey, I want to be more spiritual. But when it comes to their habits, they don't know really how to do that. And I think of like prayer life is probably one of the biggest areas I focused on in 2021, and one of the ones that I want to continue to improve on in 2022. But if I could look and say, listen, my prayer life is 38 times better today than it was a year ago, or a year from now, it's 38 times better. And now all of a sudden, if I take both of those over 2 years, it's almost 80% better, 80 times better than it was. My relationship with God has improved 38 times more because I decided to make that investment every single day and spend 5 to 10 minutes with them, 15 minutes with them, or multiple times a day. That has now got me to improve in a major way. And that's one of the simplest ways that you can improve in your spiritual health is taking time every single day to pray. And remember this, it's not necessarily how long, it's, when you're doing it. So it's just about doing it. You can always change and adjust the time as you get more consistent at it, but I wouldn't get caught up in the time. I would be focused more on, hey, how do I make this 1% improvement every single day? And then you have financial health. Imagine, being 38 times better in your finances when it comes to what you put in your bank account, when it comes to, I'm going to talk about a couple of things on this because I think they're important when it comes to business, but just even the finances. Like, it would just make sense to make a deposit in my finances of 1% better every day, because now it's 38 times better than it was. And if we're talking about investments, that's a huge return on investment. But imagine your marketing. Many people don't market every single day or don't work towards something in their marketing every single day. And so what ends up happening is they don't improve. And so one of the things that we teach inside of habit-based lifestyle and our accelerator is to teach people how to market their business every single day, so they can be 38 times better at marketing over the course of a year. They work on sales every single day, so they can be 38 times better at sales. But most of the time, people are not willing to suck at marketing or sales, not even suck, just go through the effort of doing it. And so instead of marketing or instead of sales and choosing to get better at that 1% better every day, they're actually working back towards, they're getting worse every single day because they're just not doing it. And like I said in the beginning, it's not about, getting better or getting worse and then they're staying the same, because you can't stay the same. If you are not getting better, you're actually getting 1% worse. So every day you make a choice not to market. Every day you make a choice not to put content on social media. Every day you make a choice not to work on sales or get into some type of sales conversation. You are actually getting worse at that. You're not staying the same. And that's the same thing that goes into your relationships. It's the same thing that goes into your spiritual health. Every day you don't pray, you're actually getting worse at prayer. You're not staying the same. The compound effect that all of these things have on you is your ability to get 38 times better over the course of a year. And that's really the effect that you can have on yourself. Now, it also means that if I get worse, 1% worse each day, it compounds into 97% worse over the course of a year. And so when you do this, one of the cool things is you can really look at yourself and like, hey, I'm consciously making a choice not to improve today. And if you can look at that, you can start getting leverage on yourself and saying, man, I'm consciously making a choice every single day that I don't do this workout. I don't send this message. I don't, work on my marketing. I don't make a deposit in prayer or spend time with God. I'm actually consciously getting worse, and I'm making a choice to do that every single day. And so the effect 1% better has on you is a compounding effect that's going to show up over the course of a year. So if you're doing all these habits and you don't feel like you're getting better, well, it may be because you're consciously choosing to sporadically do them and you're not doing them consistent enough. And then you don't see the results over the course of a year. It's impossible not to get results when you are making 1% improvements every single day if you're consistent with them. So wanted to drop this with you guys because it was super powerful for me to even think of, man, 37% better, 38% better over the course of a year. It sounds great, but 38 times better. Man, that's a huge, massive improvement. And I can do that in 5 areas of life, not just one. So thank you guys. If you have any questions, you're watching the live, #live. You're watching the replay, #replay. Maybe you're listening to the podcast and you have any questions, reach out, jesse@habitbasedlifestyle.com.
The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse.